All right. Hi, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone, wherever you are based. Thank you for taking time to join us at the Celo and Huobi Stablecoin in Web3 and Sustainability Hackathon opening ceremony. We're really excited for all of you who are joining us, be it on Zoom or on AngelHack's YouTube channel. Welcome to today's session. And today is really an opportunity for us to share really in depth of what the hackathon is all about, the prizes that are up for grabs, and similarly at the same time for you out there to actually ask us any question for us to answer along the way as well. So keep your questions coming. For those who are on Zoom, you can type them in the question box. And for those who are at YouTube, do type them on the chat box over there and we'll get to your questions towards the end of the session today. Just a quick reminder as well, we actually do have a networking and team formation session right after this opening ceremony. The link will actually be shared a little bit later on. So do keep note of that and looking forward to join you at the networking session as well. So today in opening ceremony, joining us today, it's Brandy from Celo and Aspen and Lucas, who are from Huobi itself, who will be providing a little perspective from their own individual organizations to help you set context about what the hackathon is and to really get you going and excited about this. So without further ado, Brandy, I'd like to welcome you on for you to share your perspective with the audience.
Well, hello, good to see you. I am so excited for this hackathon. Our efforts are truly showcasing the power of joining together to provide opportunity for all you folks joining in now and also in the future, folks reviewing this later. I just want to say, like, the Web3 space has had some challenges, right? And there's so many different growth cycle within Web3. Right now, one of the focus points is like on stablecoins and Web3, and we're so proud to have this hackathon because we're also looking at it from a sustainability side. And at Celo, the Celo Foundation, we're super excited about the future. We love the idea of Web3 providing social good and providing a roadmap for inclusiveness so everybody can gain prosperity in the space. And we really want to reach out to all these different verticals. And we can't do it alone. We just can't, right? And when you think about a community, it's really about a community coming together. And so I'm so proud that today, we're here joining forces with Huobi to really promote this growth cycle and to give you folks an opportunity to participate in a sandbox to really elevate, right? Like making sure that we provide opportunity for projects that have unique, interesting perspectives on how they're going to make impact for the utility of their projects globally. And that's one thing that's fascinating about Web3 is that you have global reach. You have a project with a fantastic idea. You're building a team. It's like, we want to make sure you know we're here for you. And that's what I love about Justin coming together. Big thank you, Justin and the AngelHack teams for supporting us and facilitating this hackathon event. I got to share, it's a lot of work. There's a lot of like underlying mechanics here to make sure that we support the community. So we have Discord up. We have folks in Discord helping support the conversations. And I just want to also emphasize, like, the ability to promote sustainable growth is one aspect. But when we talk about sustainability, we're also looking at like how you can make an impact, like with sustainable finance, right? Like when you think about Web3 and sustainability, we have the climate focus. And for this hackathon, we actually have bonuses configured for those folks fully implementing a climate and regenerative finance offerings to the space. And we can't wait to see what you and your projects are going to do. We're super excited. Before we actually kicked off this call, I was sharing with the Huobi team, like, that's my favorite moment is when these projects start coming together. These teams have formed and all the hard work is being showcased. We certainly are looking forward to spotlighting everybody's effort here, and always remember, like, continue building them, focusing on what you're doing, because there's a massive amount of community globally available to help support. So like, you're not alone. And if you feel that there is a need for support, just ask, right? And that's the nice part about having Discord. We have so many folks in there reviewing messages. Just go ahead and share any ideas you have, feedback or questions. We have some cool events. I'm super excited for an upcoming event where I'm gonna show you how to get started in the tooling and ways to get integrated with the Celo ecosystem. But there's more than that, right? Like this is a joint effort. And what I would like to do is actually allow the folks on Huobi's team to kick this off and share a little bit more about opportunities in this space and the motivations to do this hackathon. I just want to share it's more than the hackathon, right? Like we have so much going on. The future is insanely bright. So we're excited. Without further ado, I would like to go ahead and hand this off to Lucas, who's the research director at Huobi Incubator with Aspen. Lucas, you want to go ahead and jump in on here?
Yeah, thank you. Big thank to Brandy and the AngelHack team. Hi everyone, this is Lucas, and welcome to the Celo Huobi Hackathon. We're super proud to co-host the hackathon with Celo, I think, which gives amazing opportunity for team to build, learn, win prizes, and most important, I think, is to connect with the amazing opportunity. So we believe like the vision and aim of Celo, which is to make decentralized finance instrument services easily accessible for anyone with a smartphone. And this is going to help to shape the world of Web3 for sure. And so we both believe Celo as a powerful and easy to access blockchain platform has the potential to onboard billions of the mainstream users around the world. And like being the incubation arm of Huobi Exchange and Huobi Group, we're seeking chances to be in touch with the teams that are building inside the Celo ecosystem. So as an incubator, we can provide investment and customized support, including like listing or liquidity support to this project. And as Brandy said, we believe that the focus on supporting the developers and the projects goes more than just the hackathon. It's a long-term thing for both of us. So everything is only at the beginning. Because getting a fundraise is not something hard for today's market, but what you really need is like a strategic partner. Because in order to achieve your goal, I think there's a lot of things a project need in your life cycle. And I think it's becoming a very competitive landscape for being an investor in the industry, but we are pretty confident because Huobi has been inside the industry since I think 2013. So we're like pretty early in the space. And what we expected to bring into the ecosystem is our rich experience and connection with the whole industry. So yeah, and like I think the greatest thing about Web3 is it is still at its early days. So there are just like so many things yet to be built, and that makes it much more exciting. Whether you are from a Web3 developer or you're from the Web2 world, you're all gonna put in like different energy inside this ecosystem. Yeah, so at last, I just want to say we're absolutely excited to see all these talents get connected to this community, and I can't wait to see what's going to come out of this hackathon. Thank you. Good luck to all of you, and Aspen. Yeah.
Hi, this is Aspen from Huobi Incubator. Welcome everybody to the Celo Huobi Stablecoin in Web3 Sustainability Opening Ceremony. I am incredibly excited to be here, and we are incredibly excited to have everyone participating in this. We want to do as much as we can do to contribute to the Web3 community. We are so proud to be here with Celo because we are really working on meaningful use cases. That's the purpose of this hackathon, right? Build this relationship and eventually put all this together into a hackathon opportunity. We are going to be kicking off this opening ceremony here. For the Celo Huobi Hackathon, we definitely have a global presence, a very diverse group here. We welcome the people who are hacking from all over the world. If you haven't registered already, definitely go check out. You could absolutely get started right now with your products, with your hack spirit, with your teams. And Huobi is a company that not only had a mission and ability to innovate the finance industry, but also, the infrastructure, the scaling globally. Huobi, as a company that been around for over 8 years, it's kind of like ancient already in blockchain world. Huobi has been growing as organization at a very rapid pace with over 2,000 people. We've got a dozen different failed gateway and license, expanding ended into dozens of markets and with more than 220 different countries. So most of people probably know Huobi is a global crypto exchange, but that's actually just one business unit within the parent company of Huobi Group. And Huobi Group consists of over 18 individual entitles and business units that each provide its own crypto or blockchain-related products or services. We are a global company with products and services in many different markets. Huobi Incubator is one of them. Huobi Incubator set up a fund as a liquidity pool to support the overall incubation and capture the high quality project, provide incubation one-stop incubation service available. Could help in startup teams and innovative projects improve their visibility, cope with challenges, and gain competitiveness and development. We focus on early stage blockchain and crypto project incubation, providing hands-on advisory and strategy support all the way to product launch, growth, and beyond. If you are startup teams and run into these issues like where to get funds and liquidity, or where can I get listed, and how do I galvanize communities? If there legal compliance concern, feel free to reach us out by incubator@huobi.com. The ecosystem now is big on regenerative finance and Web3 mobile applications that can allow us emerging industry to get better and better. We see this promising signal to participate in this event. This hackathon is really the stomping ground for innovation in this space because we really are at the crux, the cutting edge, the pinnacle, the forefront of being the pioneer. It's in this smart contract, in this blockchain world. So we have an absolutely fantastic base to stand off and move forward with. Not pretty much as all these tools and all these technologies to help build and help fuel this better world. The theme of this hackathon is honestly stablecoin and Web3, with a focus on some stability. Or when we are establishing the planning of this hackathon to kick it off, was how we can provide better opportunities to developers for meaningful impact to startup teams, and provide the kind of resource and support to them, and make our collaboration and investment outside of it only just about investing. Because those are the teams that we see have higher chance of success. The main takeaway about this hackathon is that successfully launched project from this hackathon will have a fast track to getting additional support from Huobi Incubator, meaning you'll get additional attention and a path to future listing. And the group prizes that you can win for some of these project and protocols, and investment opportunities, liquidity support. Parties have to think about is when do we need the listing? From my perspective, you need the listing when you have a product, when you have communities, when you have a demand for your tokens, and when there are people that are trying to get your tokens. When you want to bring your project to the next level, you need the secondary liquidities, and when you need your publicity to grow the community, to bring more impact of your project to the larger audience, you could get the support needed from this hackathon. I believe most of attendees have experience with blockchain development, and some of attendees are brand new to this space. If you're brand new, 100% welcome. Don't get imposter syndrome. Jump in, say hello, meeting people. This is really the time to Web3 network to growth and sync with everybody. At the same time, there are a lot of people who either have some knowledge of a very experienced with blockchain. So if you're brand new, this is a time to learn from some of these more experienced people. If you're more experienced, it is time for you to build something fantastic. We are so looking forward to see what all of you build. Good luck. Thank you.
Right. Thanks, Brandy, Lucas, and Aspen for the sharing and really great insights from both Celo and Huobi team in terms of what they're kind of setting the context of the hackathon in itself. And I believe both Huobi and Celo are really excited to see how you are actually participating at this hackathon, really making great connections, and at the same time, really looking at what are kind of ideas that could kind of stamp out from various individuals and teams as well. So without further ado, let me just dive in a little bit deeper about what the hackathon is about in itself. So here is just basically what's going to be covered at the end of for today as well. And similarly, as I mentioned earlier on, if you have any questions for the team over here, with regards to the hackathon, please feel free to drop them in the chat box if you are joining us on Zoom. But if you're joining us on YouTube, please drop them on the comment box as well, and we will get to them towards the later half of the session as well. So quick reminder as well that the networking session will take place later on. So please stay around and leverage this opportunity to get to know the folks around in this hackathon. So first of all, what is Celo and Huobi stablecoin in Web3 and sustainability in itself? So it all really stems out from where DeFi is where the crypto hype actually started. And for the years to come, and especially in this hackathon, it is going to continue to be as well. So essentially, this hackathon really revolves around the rapid rise of Web3 and the DAO. And it's really about leveraging how stablecoins as a digital currency, it's going to be adopted as a turning point for the DeFi. And DeFi is just beyond a financial solo, and it can be an anchor of real world in itself. So stablecoins and DeFi need to actually pace up to the ever needed demands in many realms. And at the crossroads of climate and crypto, it begs the questions on how we can revitalize the stablecoin system and catalyze inclusive, interactive, and user-owned solutions as well. So this hackathon really aims to bring together incredible people working on innovative solutions, not only to sustain our planet, and I'll talk a little bit about how that climate change integration is highly encouraged at this hackathon, but really at the same time to define what the Web3 mobile DeFi landscape would look like at the same time. So this hackathon have 3 challenge statements that any teams can actually take part in and make a project submission for. Number 1 would be the stablecoin and DApp solutioning. And this track in itself really focuses on building stablecoin related financial solutions on Celo, with the focus on either expanding the use of Celo dollar, which is CUSD in this case, to emerging markets with higher rates of inflations, or to explore payment tools and middleware. Second track would be the stablecoins and Dows integration, and it really surrounds projects that integrate stablecoins with Dows, including credit-based finance, crowdsourced platforms, venture Dows, and decentralized charity as well. Some of the ideas that you can kind of explore really would be how you could have collateral lending for financially undeserved groups, or democratic funding to meaningful causes such as climate change, education, etc. as well. The third one would be stablecoins with DeFi mobile solutions integration. This last challenge really concerns the uniting of stablecoins with DeFi mobile solutions in order to integrate a Web3 component in DeFi. So some of the projects either that you could kind of explore really, it's DeFi and Earn kind of integration, or it could be mobile DeFi with SocialFi. But if not, it will be DeFi and intro probability as well. So all the project submissions that you're kind of building will actually be assessed by a panel of judges that have been specially picked up by both Celo Foundation and the Huobi team as well, and including some of the investors that are actually coming in to help assess all the projects in itself. And they are actually be based on 4 equally weighted categories. Number 1 would be the impact and usefulness of the project. The idea here is really about looking at how useful the submission is in the Celo ecosystem as a whole, and how the impact that it could create in its ecosystem. The next part is really about how new and novel the submission is versus the existing technologies. And that criteria would be the originality, creativity, and innovation of it. The third part will, of course, be looking at your level of skills and knowledge of the technical component that's actually required to build the submission. And last but not least, we will also assess the feasibility of the idea and how adaptable is it across other integration as well. So on the hackathon prizes and upcoming events, what you can really look out for is really a prize pool of 500,000 CUSD in itself. For each of the challenge statement that you actually do see, there will be a challenge statement winner who will actually walk away with 50,000 CUSD along with hackathon swag box and listing opportunities on Huobi exchange as well. There will be 3 runner-up teams in each of the challenge statement as well, each walking away with 15,000 CUSD. And we will be giving away a most innovative awards for each of the challenge statement as well. On top of that, what's going to happen is that we are introducing what we call a climate change bonus. What's going to happen here is that every teams that have actually integrated a climate change or carbon credit concept into your project submission will have an additional of 5,000 CUSD added onto the prizes that you're going to walk away with as well. And this is a total prize pool of 100,000 CUSD that will be given out till it's actually fully drawn up. And the other part that I would really like to call is that all the team submissions will actually stand to win the grand prize of 100,000 CUSD at the same time. And essentially similarly with the rest of the challenge statement winners, you will also be you will also get an listing opportunity on Huobi exchange. So right here with a huge pool that's really up for grabs itself, what we really want to encourage is that, while you have different expertise or different ideas that you can work at to integrate stable coins with various aspects from DApps, Dows, and even DeFi, the idea here is really to encourage you to explore different possibilities while at the same time really working on considering the sustainability efforts that Web3 could have in its ecosystem as well. And therefore, in this hackathon itself, we really would encourage you to consistently have considerations of how you can integrate various climate change component or any carbon credits that you could introduce into the ideas that you have. So 4 weeks of hackathon and 16 prizes up for grabs. We really encourage you to really participate to the best of your abilities. Of course, that is to say there are actually lots of workshop sessions that has actually been lined up to help you get you along, all the way from technical sessions to educational webinar, and even certain content sessions that that will help you bring perspective of the importance of sustainability in Web3, and how you can get started in both the Celo Foundation side and Huobi itself. Most importantly, and this is something that we really introduced to this hackathon itself, would really be able to hear from the investors' perspective as well. The idea here is really that while we are building something for a hackathon submission, we really want you to also consider the longevity of the submission that you're actually looking at. And this really comes from having a additional domain of consideration when you are working in your projects. And this is really to look at more on the business use case side of things to get the idea going as well. So we have lots of events that have lined up for you, as I mentioned earlier on, and this is just a sneak peek all the way to the end of May, which lines up to about the first week of the hackathon, essentially. So right here, it's actually the opening ceremony, and right after this session, we will actually have a networking and team formation session that will be hosted on GatherTown. Our team, AngelHack, will actually be shortly sharing the link and the password for you to join the session. Do swing by in this networking space, and the idea here is really for you to get to know people, especially if you're coming as an individual and you would like to form teams. What better way to find the right people by being able to know more people before finding the right folks that you're going to team up with for the hackathon itself. We're going to talk about Web3 sustainability on Wednesday. Along at the same time, there's going to be a technical session to help you get started on Huobi and Celo as well. As I mentioned, we're going to have a investors perspective panel that's going to take place on Friday, 27th of May, along with a session that will help you understand mobile first resources for mobile and web DApp, and last but not least, stablecoin resources for the same mobile and web DApp as well. So do take note of the sessions. At the same time, just a reminder for those who have already registered for the hackathon or are still not yet registered, you will actually be receiving a participant's guide that will be dropped into your email the moment you have actually registered. This is the sign of you successfully registered for the hackathon. And at the same time, the participant guide is kind of like all you need to know information guide throughout the entire hackathon, ranging from the events that's going to happen, to the resources that you can make reference to throughout the entire hackathon period, and being able to know who the mentors and judges are, just so that you know who are the right people that you can reach out to as well. So after all this covered through, I think the most important part is really about understanding what would the submission requirements be while you're working on the project. What do you need to prepare for? Essentially, there are just a few items. Number one is the team leader of the team should set up a GitHub repo link of which it has to be shareable in terms of access within the rest of the team to collaborate on. But what you need to do is actually for all the submission items to actually be on the GitHub repo where judges may be able to access the items during judging period as well. On top of that, some of the items that you do need to prepare, number one, will actually be a project description. Ideally, this will be one that contains a summary of your project, an overview of the problem that you're trying to address, and the thought process behind the project, and what's your consideration behind of what you're trying to build. At the same time, please indicate which challenge statement that you're actually submitting for. Each team will only be allowed to submit for one challenge statement, essentially. Next up, as much as we love to hear you in person, unfortunately, because we're in the virtual space, each team do have to record a 3-minute pitch video, essentially targeting and helping the judges understand what your product is, and it will be an opportunity for you to do a demonstration as well. So we will come a time to probably share a little bit of quick tips on how you can prepare closer to date, but do keep in mind that this will be something that is very critical as part of the assessment item as well. Of course, please list down the list of tech stack that you have actually used for the project as well. The idea here is for you to list down all the solutions, technology, infrastructure, and services that you have actually used to build your project. And last but not least, a project demo link, which is a URL of your live working environment of the solution you have built. Please make sure that your demo link is actually accessible, and that do make sure that any of the access are actually made public in order for judges to access, and make sure everything kind of works when you're kind of submitting, and we will remind you again closer to date. So all the technical parts have been kind of out of the way. The next part is really about covering what are some of the rules that will be anchoring this hackathon in itself. Number one, and most importantly that you need to remember, it's this fresh code rule. Essentially, all the submissions that you provided at the end has to be developed during the hacking period, which is starting from today, 23rd of May, all the way to the 24th of June. All codes that has been written during this period will be assessed by as you make the submission on itself. Make sure that whatever that you have constructed do not contain any intent or likelihood of damage or interference to programs, data, or hardware as well. And please please have positive intent during your entire participation of the hackathon as well. We really encourage all of you to be to be nice to each other, and if you really need help, or if you really are confused or not too sure where to go, help is really available throughout the Celo Discord server as well. And please reach out to any of us in the organizing team from AngelHack should you face any problems, and our contact information are actually listed in the participant guide as well. What's importantly as well is that the submission should not violate any of the third-party rights, and that it should not violate any laws or regulation where submission is created or submitted to as well. Last but not least, I'll encourage all of you to really have fun and learn during this period as well. As what Aspen shared, I think we really welcome everyone from all experience level. Even if you have just started your journey as a developer, we really welcome you as well on this learning journey together with everyone here at the hackathon itself. We do have resources, we do have technical workshops and sessions. They will help you get along to understand the ecosystem along the way as well. And that's what's really important and anchors throughout this hackathon as well. So we do have a panel of mentors that will guide you along the way. They will be your source of support during the hackathon period as well. And as I mentioned earlier on, they will actually be available on Celo's Discord server. Similarly, information could be found on the participant guide on how to join the Discord server, and there will actually be a channel dedicated to the hackathon itself where you can get all the announcements, the introduction of various team members who have actually participated at the hackathon, and the mentors who are actually really there available to help you along the way. So this is just a showcase of those who have actually committed their time to make sure that they are available to help you at all times. Feel free to just reach out to them on Discord server as and when required as well. So the big question that some of you may actually do have over here is, how do I get started? Essentially, number one, you will have to register for the hackathon. That actually would be your entry ticket to everything, which includes information about the hackathon to get you along, resources, help, content sessions, and really, most importantly, your project submissions to actually be qualified for the prizes as well. If you are actually participating with a team of members, important to keep your teams to up to 5, and that all members needs to be registered for the hackathon. Over here, it's actually a QR code, which you can actually pick up your mobile phone and actually scan the QR code. It will bring you directly to the registration form. Fill it up, and the moment you've actually received an email from us, it also means that you have successfully registered for the hackathon. The next step is really to join the Celo Discord. As mentioned earlier on, it will actually be accessible via the participant guide, and this will be where all the announcements and happenings take place on the hackathon channels. Similarly, where you could reach out to the mentors of the hackathon as well. We have also created a hackathon calendar, which you could save, also accessible by the participants guide, to help you keep track of all the sessions that's actually ongoing. Do note that a couple of days, some of the days that actually have 2 sessions ongoing. Do take note of the time and the title and the speakers that you're going to look out for as well. Pick the sessions that speak to you the most and to really want to attend, and we really want to see you at the sessions moving forward during this 4 weeks of hackathon as well. And last but not least, we do have curated a list of resources to help you get going, all the way from something that is really beginner friendly, especially if you're really new to the ecosystem, to really get you going as well. And for those who have been around for a while and you're pretty experienced, we do have other building related documentations and technical documents to help you get started on the challenge statements that are actually specified for the hackathon in itself as well. So what resources do I get? There is a hackers checklist on participant guide that you could check in to basically, this will actually be the steps to get you started as well. And to make sure that you checkbox all the items to get you going and make sure that everything is going well for you. Resources, and last but not least, mentors and help desk as well. So before we jump out to the next part, I'll probably just like to open the opportunity for you guys to actually ask us any questions. So I think this will be one question either for Brandy or maybe Lucas to kind of check in with a participant. I think one of them is just kind of asking if NFT certificate platform pass could be possible for a hackathon submission as an idea.
Yeah, I'll address that. I just want to say Web3 is early in its growth cycle, and we're going to have many more growth cycles to come. NFTs are one of the core offerings that we've seen mature in the space since ERC 721 was released. I look at NFTs more than art, right? I look at it as data. And when you mentioned the question about certificates, I would advise to really review the hackathon resources. The team at AngelHack has made sure to provide a wealth of information to keep you in focus in regards to how you can make an impact on your project. The goal here is like, we want to see greater sustainability in the space and we want to promote it. So if you have an NFT certificate platform, it's like, what are you going to do with that platform? How is it going to take advantage of sustainability efforts? Take a look at all the tracks and align with those tracks. You can tailor an NFT certificate platform, because to me, an NFT certificate, that's data, right? It's like, how are you going to use that data? How can you apply that data with the tracks that are in place right now in the hackathon for you to contribute to? So to answer your question directly, yes, you can go ahead and utilize NFTs. You just want to make sure that you have alignment with the hackathon focus and the tracks. Build a team, get creative. That's what I love about hackathons. You get to challenge yourself to take things like an NFT platform and shape and mold it, right? To provide usability in the space. And for that, I would like to say, congratulations for thinking outside the box and making sure that you ask these questions. And I wish you the best of luck.
Thanks, Brandy. Yeah, so the other question that probably some of the teams will actually have in mind, it's really about if they are an existing team and they have already been building a project and they would like to develop a new feature that's kind of in line with the challenge statement itself, will we kind of consider them as a qualified submission at the end of the day?
That's a question for me.
Yes.
Yes. So sorry, I was trying to see if there's any other questions. Okay, so existing projects, I've got this so many other times, and it's kind of difficult because, part of me wants to say, we have these tracks. Let's just focus on the tracks. And the truth is that there's so much creativity with past efforts. And I really am a strong believer that once when you go to a hackathon and you have an idea, that at the end of the hackathon, it shouldn't just stop, right? I believe that builders should continue to build, throughout the various challenges. Entrepreneurship in general, you know, it's tough. You have to be prepared for getting feedback that maybe you don't like. And that's true with hackers, right? When you have a project and you're so committed, you're going to get feedback. My advice to you is absorb all this feedback. Don't give up and continue to challenge yourself to iterate, right? And iterate effectively. I mean, as engineers, software engineering requires strong iteration cycles. If you're not focusing on the iteration cycle, well, then your product is going to suffer in its quality. So ultimately, I just want to say this one thing. When you are looking at a past effort that you want to bring into another hackathon, you want to review all the requirements for the hackathon. We have those in place. Definitely review the resources. We have a site, Celo, Huobi, hack.com. Justin provided a lot of links here. Definitely check them out, review the rules. But if you have a previous effort and you focus on what you can do in this hackathon to utilize some of those previous efforts, just make sure you fully identify alignment with the tracks and the challenge statements that are currently in place. And you want to create something new. You don't want to just take something in old and not do an iteration on it. That's not going to pass, right? Yeah. You're going to have to innovate here. And so I'm sorry, there's no fast track here. Can't just clone, copy, submit. That's not going to work. We're going to review these projects. We will look at things like commit history. We want to make sure, I mean, it's really about supporting you and supporting the ecosystem for the mature growth cycle. And we want to contribute to that. And that's a testament with Huobi and ourselves here at Celo Foundation. It really is about elevating us all. And to do that, we need to innovate.
Yep. Totally agree with what Brandy have actually mentioned. And just kind of add onto it, there's also the reason why we have kind of emphasized on the fresh code rule for this hackathon in itself. Essentially, we really want to challenge every participants who actually are taking time to join at this hackathon and putting in lots of effort in it to really work on something that's innovative, something that's not already existent as well, right? And that's also in line, in parallel with the efforts of how we are accessing the projects as well. And one of it is really about its originality, whether or not it versus any existing technologies out there, is that how innovative and how novel it is at the same time. So while it could be a reference from something that was already from a past effort, I think what we would like to encourage everyone that's actually participating in the hackathon is really to challenge yourself, to really work on something that there is even better, and something that is much more aligned with what the theme and the challenges of the hackathon is. And essentially that's what this hackathon will really be about as well, right? How we can actually integrate Web3, stablecoins, and also sustainability efforts at the same time, and really looking at how we could flourish in the entire ecosystem as well. So if you have any questions still with regards to the submissions or any of the ideas that you'd like to kind of, get someone to kind of bounce off to just kind of make sure whether you're on the right track and whatnot, do join the Celo's Discord server. The mentors are readily available to help you to listen to your ideas that you have and to just give you feedback at the same time as well. I think that's the beauty about how the hackathon is. While we pull in resources to come up with content and workshops for you, these mentors are also have availed themselves to answer any of the questions that you do have as well. So please feel free to reach out to anyone within the team and to really to be able to work on the project as well. So I think there's also one question about that kind of popped up. Lucas, Brandy, feel free to kind of chime in as well. So we do have 3 different challenge statements at the same time. People could get really innovative and really have some ideas to kind of integrate or to come out with a project that kind of integrates 2 different challenge statements. What are your thoughts about that?
Lucas, you want me to take this one?
Yeah, go ahead, please.
All right. I love innovation. I really do. As long as it follows the rules, like those rules are put in place. We have them visible. like Justin mentioned, you want to review the resources that we put together. We took time to organize this event, and there is a certain level of due diligence, right, on your end. So I love the innovative questions here. And I do mean innovative, like how can you go ahead and utilize both tracks with your projects to increase your submission chance? I say get creative, as long as you're focusing, right? Like really focus on your project, focus on those end results. If your project supports multiple tracks and the effort is shown, and your project is gaining traction, like amazing. I think that's just amazing. But once again, anytime, like these questions I see often, I'm trying to review these questions in the chat, and I see a bit of a pattern here with it. It's like, definitely review the resources that have been curated for this hackathon. Review those rules, and then ask yourself, like, do you understand? And if you have any questions, then those specifics you can ping us, and we'll make sure to address. But I think the rules are pretty clear. And I do believe that if you're innovative and you're hitting 2 track touch points, submit them as long as it fulfills the rules for that hackathon that's been in place. We put these here to add. Rules are there not to restrict you in regards to your efforts. The rules are there to provide a fair and equitable experience for all of us, right? And that's really what it's about. We want to make sure that it's fair for each of you that are participating. We really want folks to gain opportunity with their impact efforts, and we want to support the growth cycles of the community. So yeah, I know that's kind of a big way to answer it, but it's the truth.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. I think one last question before we kind of end today's session, before we move on to the networking session itself. I think it's also a great opportunity for both Celo and Huobi to kind of help emphasize basically how this stablecoin integration comes into this hackathon itself. I believe stablecoin might not be a term that everyone is very familiar with. So while all the challenge statements that you see over here have a stablecoin integrate with either DApps, Dows, or DeFi, maybe both of you would like to give a really simplified explanation on basically what stablecoin is and what does it mean about this integration with the various challenge statements that we do have.
Yeah, so like we planned out this hackathon together with Celo like 2 months ago, and it is interesting to bring like this question now, since like the Cellular crisis just happened. Everybody just like wondering, is stablecoin gonna be stable forever, or what is exactly the stablecoin? So stablecoin is very simple. It's going to be pegged with some kind of asset. Maybe it's in real world. So maybe pegged to US dollar, or pegged to Japanese yen, or yeah. So and I think Celo and with Celo dollar being its native stable value in building its global payment platform, they got compared with Luna USD often. Yes, they work in some way similar, but I think Celo is proved to be like more successful in comparing to UST. They got this a better reserve system. It's fully I think decentralized, and it's very transparency, and it's totally work right now. And I think it's a great learning opportunity. Also, like they often move some of the reserve to Bitcoin, and it definitely help a lot of prevent I mean, when the UST happened, DPEG, yeah, so yeah.
And I would like to jump in and add a little to that, okay? If you don't mind. Well done, Lucas. Like, there's so many different offers for stablecoins, and they each have various underpinnings that make this utility come to fruition for us, right? To be usable in the marketplace. Oftentimes, folks just think, oh, stablecoin, that's just there to stable. It's pegged to a dollar of sorts. And at a high level, yes, that's true. But Celo really took time to establish this transparency, to not only make sure that we differentiate ourselves compared to the rest of the herd out there. One of the key differentiators is the transparency portion. We care about our community. We want to make sure that we all get the power that we need to create utility in the blockchain world. And stable coins, at least with us, we consider them C-stables. These stable coins that are on our platform, like Celo, CUSD, C-Euro, C-Real, like these are utility tokens too. Like, sure, they're a stability mechanism to transfer value, but when it comes down to your projects, there's so much you can do. Like we have the world of ZK, zero knowledge and Snark, and like, how can you get creative with that? What type of offerings can you do with regenerative finance, refi? We love sustainability. We love climate. It's like, we're globally connected. So what can we do to promote usage that provides a value exchange? And so stable tokens do facilitate this. And when you think outside the box, like on-ramps, off-ramps, different regions in this world, they're extremely powerful. It's unfortunate what happened with Luna. I'm not here to like discuss the context. There's so much around what happened. But what I do want to share is Celo is completely transparent. We have fantastic talent, dedicated, committed to this space. Like myself, I'm dedicated here. I want us all to grow. And I believe that Web3 is going to really promote social wellness for us all. Like, so it's going to do social good. And with that, we need to think outside the box with utility, and stablecoins are a key asset to facilitate that. And there's so many things creatively that you can do, right? And that's why I like these hackathons, because it really challenges you to kind of like think outside the box. I also do want to mention, like, we document all our efforts here in regards to offering, at least on the Celo platform. When you go to docs.celo.org, you can go ahead and utilize the search, and you can type in stablecoins. You'll find a wealth of information there. You can look up the reserves. You're going to get linked to the reserve resources. A lot of information in regards to how everything works, and also tons of simulations have been done in regards to how our reserves manage the peg, which is unique, and it's also maturing. Like we have governance in place for a reason, so we can add and mitigate risk. Like what happened with Luna is really more, and this part that excites me is those lessons learned. Like, what can we do to mitigate risk moving forward? And the one thing, due to that unfortunate event, it really allowed everybody to think, like, how are we going to provide greater stability? How do we make sure that we take on these challenges as we go through the ebb and flows of various market conditions to provide the true utility that this innovative space needs to bring to consumer, to bring to business, and fintech. There's so many verticals here that get impact, and that's why what I love the most about Celo's focus is really on the people, right? It's like, how can we do things that are sustainable and social good? This is, to me, by far the most exciting part. It's like, when you think about regenerative finance and you look into it, it's like, it's a whole new world, right? It was like DeFi, it has been fantastic. It's taught us a lot. We have NFTs, Dows, like all these together really make interesting projects. But when it comes to like this next generation of regenerative finance, stable tokens are going to be there to help promote new use cases. I'm just super excited, and there's so much to learn. We are very transparent. Please go to docs.celo.org to review, search in there with keywords to learn more about various platform offerings and what they mean to you. Dig into our reserves, our stability mechanism. We have Minto, that's available, called Minto. Check into that. So much to learn, but it's all transparent. And we also did. Oh, I'm so sorry. Sorry about that. YouTube, nothing like that on a live stream. Sorry. But anyways, go check out the docs, because the greatest thing that you're going to find is not just the transparency, but you too can perform simulations. And that is been open resource for all of you to run experiments on stability mechanisms. I urge you to experiment, and that's how we're going to do better. It back to what I said earlier, the iterative cycle, right? It's so powerful because every time you iterate, what you're doing is you're looking back, you're getting feedback, and you're looking at your project, you're looking at your target users, and the next iterative cycle is like, how can we do better? How can we take these lessons learned to mature our offering and provide value to the space? So super excited. Dig in. I'm a big proponent that you should be a lifelong learner. Education is powerful. These are all great questions, but definitely go to the sources, go to the docs, review the docs. And these questions, a lot of them have been answered, like Twitter, there's some fantastic threads talking about stability mechanisms. I know Merrick, one of the co-founders of Celo is on their fantastic thread. And then we have Renee, another co-founder, really addressing this issue. Sep as well. Sep has some fantastic information. Please dig into the community. You're going to find so much information out there, and Celo really is unique. So good luck. Good luck. And I know that was winded. Thank you for sticking there with me.
Thank you, Lucas, for giving the definition, and also Brandy to kind of add on, basically to really provide a context of really why we're doing stable coins and how Cellular as an organization is really transparent and really excited to really see all this hackathon going. And that's why we all have kind of put in a lot of work to provide the participants of the hackathon really much content, resources, and help as we move along the next 4 weeks of the hackathon in itself. So before we wrap up, probably Lucas, Aspen, do you have any last words for the audience here before we move on to the next segment?
Just excited to see what the submission gonna be, and we're here for you to give help. And thank you.
Yeah.
Good luck, everybody. Good luck.
Good luck.
Yep. So last part, we are actually hosting the virtual networking and team formation session. This will be accessible with all the folks who are actually joining us today at the opening ceremony. This will be a great opportunity for you to participate, get to meet new folks at the hackathon itself, and to be able to meet new people that you can actually form teams with, especially if you have come as an individual as well. Similarly, just to recap some of the items, you can participate in this hackathon as a solo hacker, but if not, you can form up to teams of 5 to actually participate at the hackathon. As what Brandy has mentioned earlier on, do read up on the hackathon rules, the challenges that we have actually set up, along with the criteria and assessment that judges will actually be reviewing your projects by. Should you still have any questions with regards to the hackathon, any of the ideas, feel free to reach out to us. My name is Justin. We have Brandy, we have Aspen and Lucas, who will be at the Discord channel for you to actually reach out to, and the rest of the mentors as well, who will actually be helping along as well to answer any of the questions and to guide you along as well. So thank you, Zil, for actually putting up the information about the networking session. If you are able to join us, I'm happy to kind of see you all over there. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you, Brandy, Lucas, and Aspen for spending the time to help ruffle up everyone together. And hopefully everyone over here will get equally excited for the hackathon as much as the organizing team over here is today. And yeah, please take care and see you around at the networking area.
Excellent. Thank you. Have a great day, evening, morning, wherever you're at. Enjoy. Thank you so much again, the AngelHack team. Goodbye.